And we are live. Peace and Black Power family. Welcome to another episode of Do Knowledge Radio. Place for knowledge born. This is your host, Knowledge Born Alive. Let me pan this over. I don't want y'all to think like this shit is a miracle. Okay. Fuck what y'all talking about. I believe in Santa Claus. Okay, because I got the man, the myth, the legend up in here. One of the most multi-talented and balanced black men to ever touch this microphone and give us so many jewels and make us laugh at the same time. You understand what I'm saying? So let's welcome to the show Detroit's own. What up, though? Comedian CP in the goddamn building right now.
What up, though? What up, though? What up, though? First of all, do the knowledge, brother. You know, like to hear those words, man. You know that means a lot to me. But you know, it's crazy that we live in a time where we got to be praised. You know, I'm just running the program that was set forth by the people ahead of me. You know what I'm saying? They put me on the right program early. You know what I'm saying about, self-ownership and leadership and what a black man really is. And so I think that, sometimes when somebody reminds me that that's some dope shit to do, I'd be like, oh man, wow, that's dope. Cause I don't even, bro, I'm looking at it like this is mandatory. I'm raising my daughters like this. And until I have a son, and when I have a son, I'm raising him on this. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you having me, bro, but I appreciate you and your knowledge and your awokenship and your platform, brother. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking forward to an excellent conversation, man. I was here early. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
I was in this motherfucker early. I was like, nigga, cool. 11:58. I'm logging on. You know what I'm saying? So, much respect, man. Much respect.
It's a beautiful thing. Like, there has to be a place where black people can come and be their authentic self. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you ain't got the code switch. If you like, man, look, this some fucked up shit. You like, you know what? Now this is fucked up shit going on. I ain't gonna be like, oh, wait, I gotta edit that out. Nah, fuck that. Like, we're in a place in a time that history books is gonna be written about. Like, we read about a time of our foreparents. Mm-hmm. We're experiencing the same, veracity of our foreparents with a different psychology. You understand what I'm saying? And many of us looked at that like, oh, they were soft. If I would have, no, nigga, well, you here right now. What are you doing? You understand what I'm saying? So, to be able to, in the midst of all this tumultuous stuff going on, to be able to laugh, because our ancestors laughed and sung through the most tumultuous shit that you could ever experience. They could fathom in your mind. You understand? And when it was time to get down, they got down. You understand? They got down.
Guess what though? You know what's crazy? What I think that our race has been under is pressure, an extreme amount of pressure for years, for decades, for centuries, right? But what do we know about some of the things that pressure can do? You understand what I'm saying? Like, pressure, people talk about pressure can make diamonds. Right now, let's talk about diamonds and how the reason why diamonds are so precious is because diamonds are rare. Right? You can get a cubic zirconian in any jewelry shop ever, and they shine bright, and they gonna be out here. And you go see cubic zirconians in more places than you will see diamonds because there's more cubic zirconians. Right? But the reason why that diamond is special is because pressure made it. You understand that to be a comedian and to be black in America is damn near to be schizophrenic, because you have to understand that you have to feel the pain and then double that with happiness and joy in order to make your people feel a half of the joy. Right. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I have to make people feel just joy. I got to go double that to bring it to them. It's like, man, bro, we are the perseverers, the only perseverers. Right. Like this world ain't never seen a race like ours, and every generation we get stronger, smarter. And I think that when people say, oh, if I was a slave, I would have, well, just know that you wouldn't be here if somebody would have chose to take that route versus persevere. Somebody in your family, if the slave in your family tree would have decided, fuck this, they were literally, do you know that it's bloodlines that we don't even know? There are lineages that made it over here that were slaves, that the whole family is dead back in slavery. So they don't even have, like, their lineage stopped right there. They didn't even have a chance to have grandkids and grandkids, grandkids and grandkids, grandkids, grandkids to be us. They didn't even have that opportunity. So be careful when you say shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Movies like Django, you know, that was all good, but they were persevering for you to be able to do what you do today. So don't shit on them. You know what I'm saying? Don't be like, oh, I wouldn't have did that. You know what I'm saying? Because
and some of the realest conversations, and some of the realest conversations ever been had.
Yeah.
You know, and in these kind of environments, imagine you go to your loved one, because we made families. We didn't just like, we had a bunch of children, but they were sold, they were killed, stuff like that. So we made families. Whoever showed up to our doorstep was our family. You understand what I'm saying? Yep. So we made a way for them. So imagine having the realest conversation ever. He's like, yo, CP, we're gonna fight these motherfuckers tomorrow. And no matter how much you want to get involved, you cannot get involved. You can't. If we die, we coming back through you. We need you to stay alive so we can come back. You understand what I'm saying? Hey, we
need our story.
Kill some of these motherfuckers. You understand? Like, we're gonna kill some of these motherfuckers tomorrow. Yep. We leaving tomorrow. Like these kinds of comments. Yes. Like, look, y'all go in there and sit at the lunch counter. They're gonna whoop y'all ass, but we gonna fuck them up come nightfall. Like all of these things all play out because we are people that in self-defense, we going all the way in. You understand what I'm saying? If we're wrong, whatever, like we still carry these tenets. Like even though they might be represented sometimes in the wrong fashion, we still carry these tenets. You understand? Like, so if we don't, affect change in that future generation, they're gonna be coming for us. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so
let me ask you a question.
Because they ain't got it with it. Go ahead.
Let me ask you a question. How many wars are covert? Right? And this is what I mean. Like, okay, the Desert Gulf War, the Iraq War, right? Both sides understood that it was war. Both sides were allowed the opportunity to strategize, to build their forces as much as they could because it was wartime. I feel like the war on Black people is very covert, very sneaky, and very almost very. The strategy is to not include us in what's going on. See, it's like as soon as they say it's war, then I think Black people will snap out of the bullshit and be like, oh, okay, well then if it's war, then it's war. But it's like I feel like the majority of the people in our communities who don't have the luxury of growing up as woke as some of the other people.
Right.
Your house niggas who I feel like are the biggest ally to the enemy and who are in the way. Those are the ones who don't understand. They don't understand the reasons why we have to, like you said, we have to strategize. People just want to run out there and, or they want to justify everything that they're doing. But it's like there has to be thought out, straight up ways to move as a race, as a soldier, and not as a pawn in somebody else's war. And the war on us is being fought without them declaring it, but they showing it with their actions. And it feels like we need them to say it, as a whole community. We need y'all to say it in order for it to be, and it's like they starting to get bolder and bolder. And it's like, all right, bet. Now, do y'all see all these motherfuckers, Karen at your job, and she cool, and she a cool white lady? That's what's up. But how many motherfuckers in her family is she telling about you?
Right.
How many motherfuckers do she go home and be like, oh man, Latifah at the job, she cool as fuck. You know what? We talking all this shit about Black people, because, but they not, no, she not doing that shit.
Right.
That message is not getting to the members of her family that's police officers. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we still looked at like beasts. Like, when I see how they handle us, it's like how you would handle a beast. And you talk about motherfuckers who know how to pick up snakes. You look on the Nature Channel, these niggas can pick up any snake. This is the most poisonous snake we've ever seen. Nigga, we didn't put it down.
Right.
Nigga, what are you doing? They could jump in there. It's a whole motherfucker with an alligator farm. White dude with an alligator farm. He feed him. whole chickens and rabbits and shit. But you can't traffic stop a nigga.
Right.
You that spooked out? So how about this? How about we send these fake ass cops who scared to be cops over to the nature shit. And then we bring these nature motherfuckers who ain't scared of shit to the police force. Because they could fucking handle a Komodo dragon with ultimate care.
Right.
These motherfuckers pick up alligators and tag them to make sure ain't nobody killing them. These motherfuckers drive down and scrub the ducks that was in the oil spill.
Right.
The duck can't say thank you. The duck ain't invented shit. The duck can't, the duck ain't in the NBA. The duck don't work with you. But they scrubbing the shit out them ducks because they don't want them to go extinct. Their life is in danger. Come on, man. Come on, man. We're not talking to a group of people who are without care, who are without sympathy. They put it in our face that they can show sympathy to all kind of shit all the time. It don't be black people over there in Africa talking about for 10 cents a day. Them be white motherfuckers over there.
Right.
It's like, nigga, come home. Give 10 cents a day to these niggas in Detroit. Get nigga, holler at a nigga on Finkel. It's niggas at the gas station that need a couple dollars a day. Fuck you doing over in Africa when you ain't fixed what the fuck you created over here? But it's like they're not ready for that. And you can't say a lot of shit. It's always got to be thank you. Thank you for even wanting to be an ally. It's like, bro, you ain't no ally till you doing shit without me knowing about it. Till you doing shit in my absence. My bad, man. Go ahead, man. I just, you know what I'm saying? I had just smoked. I ain't even ate breakfast yet. So then, you know what I'm saying? You know, the weed was the breakfast. Go ahead, man. My bad.
Hey, I love it. This is what I was hoping that came here today. You see what I'm saying? Because this is a real time. And you got another aspect of yourself to provide the balance so you don't go off the deep end. And that gift that you give and that you're able to express, we glean from it. You see what I'm saying? Like we get the residual effects from it. You see what I'm saying? So we can see this. This is what I wanted to see. So when folks see Reggie Bo, they was like, oh, this nigga just clown. Like, nah, like this is real. Yeah. Like you got a real love for what you're doing. You got a real love for your craft. And it's evident you have a real love for your people. You see what I'm saying? Like we don't always get that. We might get some, we might get some Step and Fetch It, but we don't get what Step and Fetch It was doing with his money. You understand what I'm saying? You got to do some research to find out what he was funding and putting on. Like he hated to be up on that stage with all of that shit. You understand? But that was his assignment to be able to do what he needed to do. You see what I'm saying? So they be like, oh, Step and Fetch It. Like, nah, like he pioneered a lane. He's like, oh, okay, this motherfucker's gonna pay me to do.
Go ahead, I'm listening, but I'm about to tweet this link out though.
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so yeah, like he created this lane, blah blah blah, this whatever. You see what I'm saying? For that war, that's a war tactic. You see what I'm saying? Psychologically, you could lullaby these cats to sleep. They're thinking, okay, I'm superior. I got this, blah 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 blah. Like armies is building up around you. We don't have that same kind of inclination towards ourselves anymore. You see what I'm saying? So we don't look at ourselves in that same kind of way because we fell for the joke. You see what I'm saying? Like even with the house nigga situation, Harry Tubman was in the house and so was Nat Turner. You understand what I'm saying? So like we come from people, if we sent you in the house, we sent you in the house. You were in the house. You understand? You wasn't, we sent you in the house. Like, hey, motherfucker, don't go in there and start thinking everything is everything. You our spot. So even if they told some shit, we told you what to say. You see what I'm saying? Like,
and here go the thing. Here go the thing. Those was the niggas in the house. Those wasn't the house niggas. See, we sent you in the house. You in the house. You're not of the house.
Right.
You stand that? Right. You're not of the house. Whatever you could bring back to us, we need that intel. If we tell you that, you're exactly right. If we tell you to tell that motherfuckers is running away and they went that way, that's good because we're going this way. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you're right. You're right. There were different levels. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm not justifying what the house nigga is, but I'm saying, just like you just said, you're absolutely right.
That's a mentality.
There was motherfuckers who got sent in there who was the spy. You're right. Harriet Tubman was in the house. Nat Turner was absolutely in the house. You know what I'm saying? It's like, right. Yeah.
But there's the mentality of us that was disagreeable. that got comfortable. You see what I'm saying? They're like, oh, they burning down. If you telling me slavery never changed, it just got more sophisticated, then we on the plantation. And the only motherfuckers that's mad that the plantation is burning is the ones who got a higher status, so they got comfortable on the plantation. You understand what I'm saying? The rest of us like, hey, put some wind on that motherfucker. Hey, hey, do what the fuck you got to do. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this not new. Like, so when situations like this happen, they happen across the world. And they, you know, all it is in Russia is, oh, no more bread. We burning this bitch down. No rice. No more rice. That's it. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? So, like, this is a natural recourse. You see what I'm saying? They want to try to localize it and make it look crazy.
Right. The power that the masses have, they almost have to be taught. It's like this. It's like 200 sheep and one sheep herder. Hold on, bro. Hold on 1 second, bro. All right. It's like 200 sheep, one sheep herder. You know what I'm saying? If them sheep decided that they didn't want to go with what the fuck he wanted to do, they could literally surround that man and take over or go 100 different ways. Imagine that. 200 sheep go 100 different ways, two apiece, go off together, and they decide to meet up together later on, but they go off 100 different ways, and it's one herder. But those sheep don't realize that because they have been duped into the reality that we have to be scared of this herder. This guy's crazy. He got this dog. You know what I'm saying? It's like that is the when you call people sheep, that is what people are talking about. The fact that there's always going to be more sheep than a herder, and those sheep have the ability to scatter. And then now the herder is ineffective. How you gonna gather 100 sheep that's scattered? Only thing that you have over them is the mentality that you're gonna beat their ass or you're gonna hurt them or they have repercussions, and that's stuck in them. He don't even tie him up. Think about it. Dog walkers be having like 8 dogs on the lead. This motherfucker got 200 sheep walking free, and they are trained enough to be like, we going this way. And that is what people, when people refer to you as a sheep, that's what they're talking about. You're going to go that way because you've been told to, without question. Without question. Hold on, man. My bad. My phone blowing up. And that shit is, hold on. But yeah, man.
That's what it is, man. That is what it is. We ain't talk shit about your comedy, so I guess I gotta ask you some comedy questions.
Bad, man. Yeah, we on this road trip, bro. I see do the knowledge, man. I'm like, nigga, let's talk that shit. But nigga, let's get though.
So for your comedy start, you know what I'm saying? Like, what was that start for you? And you know, what was kind of like the catalyst for you to go that way?
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I've been kind of funny like my whole life. You know, I'm an only child, hung with my parents a lot as opposed to hanging with a lot of kids. You know, even though I had kid homies, but even when I was around them, I was more like the leader of the crew because I had a grown up mentality being around all those adults. I just being funny is about being smart. Don't let nobody tell you different. Even if somebody doesn't understand how smart they are and they only understand how funny they are, which you will see a lot of comedians, there's a extreme intelligence that goes into being funny intentionally. And so I began like honing that science to that because I just liked the way it felt when I made people laugh. You know, like I just liked the response that I got. And so I started to work towards getting that response. Early on, man, 3rd grade, 4th grade, like trying to be the funniest motherfucker in every room that I was in, at school or at wherever. Fast forward, man, I think, you know, as I was smart, I had great grades. I ended up going to Michigan State, and I kind of put being a comedian on the back burner. I was in college and I found all these different ways to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you could do this and you could do that. And I finally had opportunities made to me that only really be made to white kids growing up. I was seeing shit. I was meeting people and, you know, I was going places and I was, you know, in these rooms that I had never got a chance to be in as a young nigga in Detroit. And so I think that with that kind of started making me more curious about what I could be if I was in one of these arenas. And so I got into I was in engineering for a minute. I didn't like engineering. I didn't mind the math and all of that. I just didn't like the fact that engineers mostly work alone. And engineers aren't inventors. Engineers pretty much, maintain other niggas' inventions. You know what I'm saying? For the most part. And I was like, that's not really how I feel about myself. If I'm gonna get in something, I want to be like special in it. So then I got into film school. I went into film school in our telecommunications college, literally a digital film school called Digital Media Arts and Technology. The concept that, movies will start being less with physical actors and more with environments that are created. Disney, Pixar, DreamWorks, where, it's actors' voices and not their faces. And then you got, video games that would have cut scenes that were so cinematic that they were almost like a movie. Somebody had to direct these and all of that. And that was what I was getting into. And so from there, I graduated college and I started working at an advertising agency, which was a struggle, because I didn't major in advertising. I wasn't a marketing major. So I was just creative, and that was a fight. And then I finally, I wrote a big spot for Walmart, got to like a pinnacle in my career, a zenith almost. And then that's when I realized that, my name wasn't attached to it. Like I wasn't on the credits like that. You have to look it up to know I wrote it. I just, I decided right then that anything less than everything that I want was selling myself short. So I needed to be like, I had to make a decision at that moment. Did I want to be famous? Like, did I want that, or did I want to be behind the scenes? And I decided that in my heart, I felt like I wanted to be the nigga. I didn't want to be that. I didn't want to be writing the commercials for somebody else, and I'm writing this funny part and they get to do it. And that's just something that I had to come to grips with. Like, it's not selfish. This is a decision that I need to make right now so that I can attach the effort that's going to be needed to it. And I decided to do that shit. And so, I ended up leaving that job. They helped me leave the job actually because they saw what I was doing. I started doing comedy at night. I'd be up to 3, 4 in the morning at comedy clubs and be back at work at 9 o'clock, sleep at my desk. It just started to be a lot. And then, and then I was just so funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, I showed a lot of promise in it early. I'm about to release some stand-up specials on my Patreon later on this week. People are going to start to see how I work out jokes. You know what I'm saying? Like how that stuff, how it comes and how you might see a set start like this and then see the final DVD, big Netflix set and see how that set was built. I'm going to start releasing that because I think that my comedy is a little bit different. It's very, very funny, fast paced, a lot of laughs, but it's also going to make you think because, I had to think to come up with the shit. It's not nothing you're going to hear somebody else say. It's very, very specific to me. And that's kind of what my audience fuck with.
So what was that story like for you, that double grind, for somebody who listening that they got an aspiration, they got a dream, they got a vision, they got a goal, you know what I'm saying? What kind of level of discipline and consistency did it take for you to go from, where you were full time in that kind of mind frame to pursuing your goal? You know what I'm saying?
The same consistency that it takes for me to find who got the best weed and get some pussy and drink some water. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. Like, the same amount of effort that I would put into anything else that I want. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why you got to tell a motherfucker how to go after some shit that they absolutely need in their spirit. Nigga, if you a rapper, why are you spending more time trying to get motherfuckers to acknowledge you as a rapper than you are just rapping? Nigga, just rap. You want to be famous. You don't want to be a rapper. You want to be famous. And so you want that recognition and you want all of that. But if you a rapper and you love rapping, nigga, never stop rapping. Just be rapping. And so I think that for me, man, it was very easy for me because I wanted it that bad. Just like anything else I've ever wanted really, really bad. Like that's all I woke up thinking about. That's all I went to bed thinking about. That's all I was online looking at was other comedians and what they doing and how they traveling. And, I was making myself jealous because I needed that. I needed to feel that chip on my shoulder. It's like, bruh, I would suggest running towards that thing in your life that you feel desperate about. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, what are you obsessed with? What are you obsessed with? Because you need to be over there figuring that shit out. So, I mean, for me, I was obsessed with being a comedian. I was obsessed with being funny. I was sick of people. I was sick of being funny everywhere. And then that was it. You know, it was like, oh yeah, he's funny. It's like, nah, I want to be world renowned, recognized for this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's not a bad thing to say. That's not, you know, they got the black man so fucked up and, you know, fake humble that we can't even let our balls hang. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, nigga, I'm trying to be the nigga. Period. And that's why I'm a cutthroat style comedy. Like, nigga, what I say, I don't feel like no nigga can fuck with me in roasting. No nigga smarter than me. And so you're not finna fucking sit up here and run around me. I done sat in rooms with all the niggas who y'all look up to and they look up to me. Like, I'm telling you what the fuck it is. And that's the Detroit. That's who I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not here to play. Right. I'm not here to play, dog. I'm not here to be apologizing all the fucking time for the shit I say that you don't like. I'm that nigga. I'm the nigga who they was telling you about. I'm the reason why you should have not fucking pressed that comedian that hard, because now a nigga like me coming up who I'm not gonna let you do it to me because I'm intelligent enough to back up everything I say with the facts that I create. I'm not gonna ever be that nigga. Ever. You know what I'm saying? Like, period. Like, dog, like, you know, and I have a team behind me that support me, that are, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not worried about getting on. I am on. Not I'm on, but I am on. What is on is me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's how I look at it. Everything I do is what I do. This is my shit. How can I be mad about not being on your shit when it's your shit? You feel me? Like, so, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, like, you know, that's why, you know, I try to, I'm very dominant. I try to own it. The stage, I try to own it. When it's my time to talk, I try to own it. It's not my fault if another nigga don't do that.
So how did you go from the stage to the sketches and from the sketches back to the stage? Is that a different aspect of you, or is that the same creativity? What you say?
No, it's way different, man. I think that going from the stage to the screen is just different. I think that you will find that some comedians are funnier on screen than they are on stage. Because here's the thing. When it's a visual, you have all of these elements that help you to drive that visual home, right? Some people aren't good storytellers. So when you get a chance to be in a story, now you got other actors helping you tell the story. You got the setup, the settings for the story that's helping you tell the story. And so you're able in a sketch to be a different kind of funny. On stage, I have to paint that picture, the whole picture, and keep you captivated the whole time and make it entertaining and funny the first time. Ain't no redo it. Ain't no, y'all ain't like that. All right, let me back it up. Let me say it. No, ain't none of that. You know what I'm saying? Right. So, you know, on stage, I have to use a different, sharper tool, right? But I feel like when I'm on screen, when I'm Reggie Bo, when I'm I steal the scene because of how sharp and funny I have to be on stage, how quick I have taught myself that I have to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta be fast. I gotta be. That's the CP way. That's the CP style. You know what I'm saying? Like, quick. You come at me, I'm right back. You know what I'm saying? So over time, I had to practice that. Over time, them rebuttals, they wasn't making sense. If early on I was trying to rebuttal back, everybody, a nigga roast me good. Oh, I'm losing the crowd. Oh, and it's over. I can't rebuttal back. The shit I say not making sense. I'm panicked and focused. I had to learn how to be that. Had to learn how to be solid in the moment. And that really came from being on stage where these motherfuckers can boo you. Boo! You, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, yeah, man, I think that a lot more people can be funny on screen, on sketches and movies and all of that. I think that it's a shame that they get more respect than your comedians on stage do, because it's harder to do on stage. It's harder to do on stage. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's some niggas that juggle on YouTube, and then it's niggas that juggle knives that's on fire in the circus. The difference is that the nigga on YouTube can fuck up. The nigga in the circus ain't no fucking up for him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, so, you know, it's just some people is just not in it like that. And it's not that I take nothing away from them but on a public level, but on a personal level, they know what's up. You don't, fuck who got the money, fuck who's in the movies right now and all of that. If you in comedy and you a comedian and you in this shit for real, then we have our own hierarchy. That's why I can talk like how I talk. Because I'm one of them niggas who is proven to be a continuous killer, to be a nigga who can stand behind what he say. So fuck who you see on TV and all of that. That's all good. But it's niggas, they know who the niggas is. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, you got to learn to be cool with that. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with who I am in these comedy streets.
So who are some of your, I would say, some of your comedic influences? And on top of that, like, who do you think you collaborate the best with? You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so I like both of those questions. All right, so the first question I get asked all the time. So I make sure that because I get asked that question so much, I try to keep it the same answer because I don't want to be that nigga who's switching up. One of my favorite comedians growing up was Tommy Davidson. Partly because I was able to see him. I was only able to see the retro of Eddie Murphy. I wasn't old enough. I wasn't around. He's great, but I saw Tommy Davidson right then. He cracked me up. Physical comedy, the energy. He had a special called Illin' in Philly with the cat and the soda. You know what I'm saying? And he did this joke about how Freddy Krueger come out the toaster like Lego my ego, and so when people see me on Roast Me and I did that joke against KD about where's my sack, that's like I'm influenced by those kind of comedians. You know what I'm saying? Like who, that's like I can tell you, like I could sit up here and cap and be like Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor, but I feel like the biggest chunk of comedy that I got came from Tommy Davidson. And then, of course, I like your Eddie Murphys and Richard Pryor. I love the way that Richard Pryor can make stuff talk. He would be like, I walk in and he could make the floor talk, or the door be like, you ain't supposed to be in here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you feel me? And so you think about that, and then it's like, that's where Reggie Bo comes from. That's where the idea that, your weed has an opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, about you and what you smoke and what you do. Like, so when I can directly correlate my comedic influences to the greats who I don't want to say borrow from, but who I learned from. It's no different than they was my OGs on the block. So I'm gonna walk like these niggas. I'm gonna talk like these niggas. I'm gonna hold these niggas' name to a higher regard even when they're not around because they my OGs. And that's how I look at them. You know what I'm saying? So, Eddie Murphy was cool. Eddie Murphy made being funny sexy. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be fresh. You know what I'm saying? Eddie Murphy was dripped out for his time. And so that's how I be wanting to be. Not too much over the top. I don't go too gaudy with it, but I hit with my little pieces. I do my shoes. I do my little, you know what I'm saying? If you know it, then you know it. You know what I'm saying? If because Eddie was like that. Kevin Hart made being a mogul cool. I'm an executive producer. I sell plenty of shows. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's nothing wrong with being like, oh, okay, you the OG in that. I'm going to follow in your footsteps because if I'm not mistaken, that's why they did it, right? That's why they did it. They did it so that niggas can follow in their footsteps, right? So that I thought that's what we was doing.
I grew up on Robin Harris and Robin Harris' students.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I grew up on Robin Harris' students like DL and Martin and Joe Torre, Guy Torre. You know what I'm saying? Like
all
that.
Of those. I'm gonna tell you like this. I went through a phase in my life where I was acting like Martin from the Martin Show. I was flat out acting like that nigga, and it's like, yeah, of course. And You know, like some of those dudes, man, you talk about roasting, like for real, for real. You know what I'm saying? Like Robin Harris, bro, like, you know, follow the drip. You know, in House Party. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you know, and then it was like, bro, he was roasting niggas like creatively. And, you know,
That's how
and
he
just,
got his start, from what I heard. His story was he went to the Comedy Act Theater and they was talking shit and he roasted everybody, the bouncers, the owner, all the comedians. He went on the roof. They used to be on the roof. He went on the roof and got everybody. Like that's how he got his start, like killing everybody. Like the comedians would see him and run. Like that nigga ran the LAPD out of his set. You understand? Put the spotlight on these motherfuckers.
yeah.
Like I was like, oh my motherfucking
Do you
God.
understand? Do you understand that, you know, with a nigga like that existed, bro, how could I not be as ruthless as I can be on this roasting shit? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, people talk about, you know, me and Bernie Mac, and they always pull that comparison between me and Bernie Mac and me and Robin Harris, and it's all about the eyes, and you know, and I get it, and I think it's an honor, but it's so many of those comedians, man, that birthed us. You know what I'm saying? So many of them, man.
Yeah, my man went into the crowd. He said, I better not find no woman in here with press on nails. Motherfuckers was trying to hide their hands and shit. Like the reason that you don't sit in the front row, the reason why you don't get up during the comedy, he said, was because of motherfuckers like that. Like that shit was crazy. That shit was, where you going? Where you go? Like crazy. Like that shit was crazy. And like his work ethic, from you know what I was told, was like one joke a day, 365 jokes a year. You see what I'm saying? Like that kind of advice. So it's like boom, like so much of that. Like that was like the essence for me. You see what I'm saying? Like everybody else was great. Red Fox and them was great, but like a motherfucker just get like you are the joke. Like I ain't bringing you the joke, motherfucker. Like you are the joke. You know what I'm saying? Officers of the goddamn law. Like crazy. Like I was like, oh shit.
But do you understand what that did though? That showcases creativity.
Yeah.
That showcases creativity to the minute. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what makes those kind of comedians so special. It's like, you know that this ain't gonna never be said again. This is some shit that you didn't think about saying before you got here, and this is a special moment that I, as a fan, am experiencing. That's deep, bro.
And your timing is remarkable. Like,
thank you, man.
Like, I want to know how you got, to the roast meat, whole situation, like how that came about, because like I seen it in your stand up, you know what I mean? Like I seen it like boom, boom. Oh, you got like boom, like, oh, I got your ass. Like I'll be right back. And then boom, I'm right back. Like you thought no, I got like boom, boom, boom. And then right back to the jokes, right back to the stories, right back, to aspects of your life. You know what I'm saying? Like you pushing them as jokes, but then right back to the I got you with them goddamn alligator feet, not shoes. Like that kind of shit. Like I got you, like boom, like you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of alchemy that you do on fucking stage is amazing. You know what I'm saying?
I think that, I came to be relentless, man. Like I came with the thought process that I was gonna be the best. Let me give you an example. I came out to LA in 2013 because a few producers had saw my Reggie Bo stuff and some of my YouTube stuff, and so they came to Detroit. And one of this dude, he was a white dude. He came to Detroit and he told me that, look, bro, I'm only trying to help you own your own shit. And I just want to own it with you. But he put me into the game, brought me out to LA. I sat with all of the tops and all the networks and introduced myself. 2013. This is who I am. My name is CP. All right, bet. After that, I got to work. So I was in LA. I was writing, and I was only out here to write. They didn't know me for my stand-up. It was just about writing, packaging, and selling shows for years. And I would go to comedy shows because I was the comedy king in Detroit. Like for my era, I was the comedy king. I had won best comedian in Detroit the year that I left Detroit. It was a radio, thing. Like I had won that. Like I was the nigga in Detroit at that time. Very, very hot. I gave it all up to go to LA to be a nobody and write. I'm going to the comedy clubs. I'm watching the comedy. It's hard to get stage time Yeah, man. Sorry about that. I had a Wi-Fi snafu. Is you back? You back, bro?
The joint, the joint had froze up on my end. The
Yeah,
last thing I
man.
heard you say was hard to get stage time.
Yeah, it's hard to get stage time out here. But I used to get done writing at night, and then I would go out and try to, get up. And that was, I was about 2015, I would say, from me going back and forth to from Detroit to LA. I was acting. I was on Empire at that time. So 2015, I'm back in LA, just working, getting stage time a little bit. Then I finally went up at this All Def Comedy show, right? And Russell Simmons was there, and I started roasting Russell Simmons in front of everybody. And I was talking about how he put his legs behind his head and be giving bitches straight dick to the stomach. You know what I'm saying? Like, this nigga. I said, this nigga, a bitch goes to the bathroom, so I'm finna get more comfortable, put something nice on. She come back and Russell be on the bed looking like an Easter basket with a dick on it, with his legs behind his head. Everybody was dying. Andre Harrell, Big Sean. And so, it was so many famous people in the room at that time that it was like, oh, who is this nigga? And Russell was like, oh, I want him up more and more. Fast forward a year later, from them doing like a 5 and 6 year process of trying to basically audition for it, I was on HBO. After doing a year stand-up, I'm on Def Comedy Jam, one of the first 5. Myself, Kevin Tate, who also from Detroit, Tony Roberts, who also from Detroit. Out of the 5, other one was Robert Powell and Zaynab. I mean, you talking about, history right there. You know what I'm saying? So, like I think that, to be relentless on stage, I'm proof that you never know who's in the room, and you never know, I went hard one night, and that's all it took for me to, get invited back, and for them to see what my consistency was like, and for me to prove myself. You know what I'm saying?
So the game out there in LA, you mentioned being out there for a long time. How did you see everything kind of switch? You see what I'm saying? Like, did the in-town politics kind of get to you out there being, from the outside, or how adaptable was that?
But what's crazy is that everybody has a different introduction to Hollywood. I was introduced to Hollywood by, I came out here making money for top executives who was on my team helping me. So I was introduced, I had more of a soft landing, you know what I'm saying, as far as that goes. Like I was brought out here. I didn't just come out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was different for me in that regard. I've seen the politics. I've also seen what people believe is the politics not really be the politics. I've been on the other end. I've had to cast people for various roles because I've been the boss or the showrunner or the et cetera on a show. I've seen it. I've seen how it goes. And so, I know it a little differently from being an executive, but I do say that I'm not ignorant to the fact that I think that some of the portrayal of black men in Hollywood is fucked up. Some of the opportunities that we're not being made available to us, network wise, show rise, etc., is fucked up. And I think that people are not wrong for wanting a kind of like a complete overhaul of the system due to the politics. I would just say that to be a no cap individual, I haven't experienced so much of those politics because of the avenue that I came in at. I just got to be honest.
Okay. That's what it is. So I know we're going to get like one of them CP books, you know what I'm saying? One of them behind the scene joints, hopefully you're going to bless us with something that we could read,
Yeah, man. My mom has been on me about writing a book, man. Like she just, she know how to get to me. She feels like it's my responsibility with everything that they instilled in me, that I need to do something like that. And I suppose I will. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to do a lot of things, and I feel like those things are going to come. I don't want to rush anything. I don't want to take anything to stretch myself out of, you know, sometimes you can miss an opportunity trying to chase one, you know, I just got to let it come how it's going to come. You know what I'm saying? Like, my next step is cinema. I'm looking for the correct movie script to introduce myself to the world. It's not if, it's just when. And I just got to find the right thing. You know, it has to be the right situation. I've been offered quite a few roles and it just hasn't been the right thing, you know, and then some roles that I wanted really, really bad, I didn't get. So, you know, I really wanted to play Eddie Murphy's son in this new Coming to America, but I'm sure everybody did. And I get that. But, you know, I really, really went hard. I auditioned for it and everything. But that was one of those roles that I was like, man, Hollywood will break your heart, man. You know what I'm saying? It'll break your heart. And that's just, you know.
I think the brother who played Cole from Martin, he was talking about that. Like, he had got typecast early, and he was like a Juilliard school-trained actor. You know what I'm saying? Like, he auditioned for the role that Derek Luke got, Antoine Fisher. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He said he came out. Denzel asked him, like, yo, what you doing here? Like, you know, you understand what I'm saying? Like kind of get played to the left, and you get caught in that little wave right there, and they typecast you.
Yeah, and I think that's why I don't really go hard at anything right now. That's why. I mean, and let me fix that. I go hard as fuck, but I'm saying like I'm not leaning all the way into the Reggie Bo shit. I'm not leaning all the way into, you know, being on everything all deaf. Like, I think that I want my audience right now, as a person early in my career, I want them to understand that I am a multifaceted individual, and I don't think that I could take being typecast. I think that would really affect me. So like, if you watch like my Adult Swim special, you know, I'm doing prosthetics, you know, I'm playing white people, I'm playing fat suit black, I'm doing all kind of shit. And for that very thing, because I don't want to be typecast, and I don't ever want to be a person that people feel like is not multifaceted.
That's real. And I think you got the consciousness. I think you didn't get caught up in the allure to where it's like, I'm here, and That a lot of people get caught up in the entertainment industry, you know, as a whole. They get swept in. You see what I'm saying? Like, they just happy. Like, yes, I have the opportunity here. I'm going to, you know what I'm saying? Like, that kind of little drive.
You know what's crazy though? I can't even cap, man. I hope I don't lose my shit but it's just that I'm not where I feel like I'm supposed to be right now. I think a lot of those people, they get to a plateau or they haven't really fully planned it out. So they get to a point that they probably never saw themselves as being, and then they kind of go crazy. Like, I see myself getting a lot farther than where I am right now. And so I think that I hope that I'm still a real nigga when I get there. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, it's easy to do right now because I don't, you know, I'm not at all comfortable. You know what I'm saying? And so it's easy for me to be this hungry and be this, and I have to work to make sure that I maintain that. But I don't want to be one of those celebrities that is not real about what that feels like and what it means. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we all struggle with that. We all struggle with that, with, you know, how do I measure, you know, staying my authentic self while also letting myself grow and have things and be and experience new things and let that wash over me and change me. And how do I meet a new me without feeling like I lost connection with who I was? And I think that, you know, we don't let people be as transparent as that. And I think that people have a hard time. Celebrities, they don't want to even be celebrities anymore because they feel like I can't be me. And it's like, no, but I think that not being pressured into portraying perfection early on in your career can help you a lot to lean towards you being able to be a real person in the long run.
I think you mentioned a few things, and, you know, opportunities like this, like, I pursued like a lot of the YouTube sketch comedians because the only time people see them, they're acting out a role. They don't get a chance to see them. You see what I'm saying? So I definitely wanted to give them, you know, some credence in regards to them being them. You see what I'm saying? And because you have platforms and y'all have collaborations where people get a chance to see you, you're visible, you're accessible virtually, so people can see you and say, okay, well, he's not just Reggie Poe, or he's not just roast me. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
hell yeah, bro. Look, this time at home on pandemic and quarantine, this is all I've been doing is just connecting with fans. That's all I've been doing. And hopefully that they understand that the only reason that I ever wasn't doing it is because I've been super busy. Like, I run a company. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I do a lot of other stuff. And so this time at home, spending more time with my kids and spending time with my wife, and I'm also connecting with people who support me, and I'm listening to them, and understanding why they support me and what they want more of and what I can do at this time. Because I feel like, man, right now, man, if ain't no TV shows being made, ain't no movies being shot, your favorite entertainer should be lending themselves to have a conversation with you right now.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to talk to anybody who ever was affected by anything that I've been, on, or just want to tell me, man, keep going, or what did you mean by this joke, or what did this joke mean? Like, bro, this is that time. This is history. You know what I'm saying? Like, This is that time, man. And we got the internet. Think about the fucking Spanish flu. That shit was like 1918 or 1920, some shit like that. They ain't even had an internet. They was at the crib fucking playing tic-tac-toe. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so, it's just, it's different, man. And we can, I think that we could change the trajectory. I think that this is what I think. I think that America, y'all can make y'all own stars. Stop accepting who they giving you when somebody is funnier than that, or somebody else you want to see in that. Y'all can make y'all own stars, and we showing how to do that right now. We be putting our cash apps up, using the money that y'all give us. Like, I've been putting my cash app up, and I, for my Twitch gaming and all of that. And I buy games so that they want to see me play. And that helps to continue it forward. It's like, I'm buying PlayStation so I could give them away when they come out. That's where that comes from. I'm not using people money to be out here having my own money. I'm getting money. No, it's like, dog, it's dope shit that I could do. They're giving me money. So I'm like, oh, what can I do? I'm giving shit away. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving computers away. Somebody wanted a computer from me yesterday. It's like, man, like, y'all can change what a celebrity is. Y'all can create your own celebrities. It's just about who y'all support. When this is over, don't go back to them motherfuckers who wasn't there for y'all. I'm not even saying fuck with me, but I'm saying just remember who could do what when they had the power to do it, and who didn't do shit. Who didn't say it? Who didn't spend their time saying it? Who didn't put their career on the line by showing how woke they was? And it's just like, dog, pay attention, because it is two sides of it. Niggas don't have to die. Niggas don't have to lose their careers. But it's up to the people who we doing it for to fucking catch us, support us. Right. If we're gonna do that battle for y'all, go out here and say what the fuck we need to be taking. We don't have to. A nigga paying me $1 million to shut the fuck up, and you want to sit there and talk shit about me. What, like, you can't blame Terry Crews. Niggas out here is mad at the nigga, clowning him. He like, all right, I'll take the $1 million from these motherfuckers and tell them sit their ass down. It's like, fam, it ain't that hard to take the money and go sit the fuck down somewhere. So people who not doing that, people who out here telling y'all what it is, keeping it real, putting relationships and careers on the line, is not easy. It ain't their responsibility. And when you support them, you are supporting yourself. You are breaking the chains for yourself. You are setting it up for, if it's not you, it could be your nephew that want to be his own executive producer, want to be his own star. So you doing that for the people who doing it right now, that sets that apart. That pushes it forward. This is how you create the shit. Don't let them tell you who the fuck is the person that you need to be listening to. A lot of these motherfuckers is only celebrities because of how ignorant they are.
Right.
They're only getting pushed. They're only getting perpetuated because of how fucking ignorant they are. And y'all know it. Y'all like, man, these motherfucking rappers is crazy. Do the drug. Fuck the bitch. Do the drug. Do the drug. Fuck the bitch. It's like, nigga, they out here with big ass wads of money. Meanwhile, we were driving past single mothers with a fucking stroller at the bus stop, singing, seen the drugs, do the drug. Fuck the bitch. It's like, what the fuck is going on? Right. We do this. This is who we give our attention to. They're not the only niggas that can rap. Them niggas not the only niggas that's funny. They're not the only niggas who can make an entertaining movie. So that's how I feel about it.
Is there some people? What about some people? I'm pretty sure you get this all the time, but is there some people that you haven't worked with in your industry, whatever lane that is, that you're looking to work with, collaborate with, and make some shit happen with?
Yeah, man. It's just so fucked up. As you get older in this business, man, a lot of the people you look up to, they start disappointing you. You know what I'm saying? And you meet these people and you're like, man, you're not even dope like that. But I would love to work with Cat Williams. I think that me and him, I feel like I understand that nigga. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to like Red Grant and niggas in his camp. But I feel like, that nigga needs some young blood, like a real nigga to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think Cat need to be the nigga. Cat need to be on top. He just don't have no crew around him. Like Kevin Hart got a dog ass crew. You know what I'm saying? The people around him. I think Cat he one person who I would hop in his crew. You know what I'm saying? And I think they do dope shit. I think I would love to work with Eddie Murphy. I think that, some of the people who I've always wanted to work with, I have worked with, and it helped me to understand that I was on the right path. I was on Detroiters, right? But I was a writer for Detroiters too. And we wrote Detroiters in Lauren Michaels' office. You know what I'm saying? Lauren Michaels, the guy who created Saturday Night Live.
Yeah.
He's the guy who, you wouldn't know Eddie Murphy like you know him.
Right.
And so, for, Jason Sudeikis and people like that to be like acknowledging like, God damn, CP, that was so funny. That was brilliant. That was, those are milestones in my career. You know what I'm saying? Because that, and people need to hear that, to know that they can keep going and all right, cool. Yeah, I'm on the right path. If these motherfuckers fucking with it. I love to work with Kevin Hart. I just think that Kev was one of my favorite comedians a while ago. And I think that he became a brand, and it's a lot of people around him who I feel like people hop in movies with Kev, and it's like, they waiting for Kev to steal the scene. And I feel like if Kev was in a movie with a nigga like me who was comedically strong, he needs like a real buddy comedy with somebody who is for real funny. We haven't seen Kevin Hart do his Life. You know what I'm saying? Like, Life was Martin and Eddie. It was such a you know what I'm saying? I just feel like, as soon as motherfuckers realize that I'm a heavyweight, that they can do heavyweight shit with me, that's what I'm in it for. That's what I'm leaning towards. I would love to do that. You know what I'm saying? I think that we would fucking clown. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, could definitely see that. I could definitely see that, especially with you. You know what I'm saying? Like that adaptability that you possess. You see what I'm saying? Like the adaptability. I seen the improv. It's back to the timing too. Again, like boom, like I'm one of those nerd motherfuckers that be like that got intrigued about the behind the scenes shit. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm the motherfucker that watched it's got me to the interview, kind of situation. Like I watched the movies when they do stuff behind the scenes. I want to know what the directors was thinking, the actors, all of that. You see what I'm saying? Like, oh, for this scene we did da 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 da. Like how much shit came from, what you see, like went into what you see. So I was interested in that story. You see what I'm saying? Because that story don't often told. You just go see the movie. That might be like, oh, that movie was ass. Like, do you know what they had to do with that budget to put all that shit together and da da? Right. Like, you ain't get nothing from that. You see what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, fuck the people. Let me go to the directors and shit and see what they got going on. See what kind of mind, what kind of vision that they had. Maybe their vision was ass, and that's why the movie was ass. You understand what I'm saying? But I'll never know unless I look at interviews or, tune into what's going on. Like, I watch all your videos, but I watched a bunch of your interviews, so I got a chance to see you along with seeing you. You see what I'm saying? Gotcha. So knowing like, okay, I can approach the situation like this, and this is it. Like, this is safe haven. This is a home for CP. You see what I'm saying? This is a home for real ones. The fake ones need not apply. I don't fuck with them. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so like this is a place where like, all right, boom, like we fuck with you. You see what I'm saying? Like, so it's like that, and the ones, after you see them, I'm like, all right, I don't really want to fuck with this one or that one. You see what I'm saying? But for the ones that's real, what I'm saying, I really, fuck with.
No, I feel that, and it's everybody famous ain't good. Every food ain't healthy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to understand that a lot of these niggas is not cool. They're not who y'all think they are, and that's on y'all to decipher who the real ones are and who not. Because, I mean, you only do yourself a justice by surrounding yourself and submersing yourself in the real. And if you don't, then that's on you. Like you said, now that you do the research, you know what I'm saying? So, you've done the research to educate yourself on what you need to be educated on. And I implore everybody to do that. If you don't do that, then, I don't know what to tell you. But it's people out here who are operating at a level that y'all claim that y'all want to see.
Right. So final thoughts before we wrap it up. I'm glad you gave us a good hour. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. We're very proud. And we want to welcome you back anytime, you know what I'm saying? Anytime, every time, all the time, you know what I'm saying? This is yours to keep. You can keep it, chop it up, do what you need to do, whatever you need, you know what I'm saying, to use as a marketing tool for your brand.
Oh, you said right now, like for my brand?
Yeah, whenever, like if you want to take this, download it, chop it up.
Oh,
whatever.
Yeah, for sure. My bad. I just a ticker just ran across my screen, said that the cop who killed Ray Shard got felony murder charges brought on. I just saw that, and I was reading that like, oh shit, that's gonna be something. That's gonna be a headline today. That's people are gonna talk about that. But anyway,
yeah. So final thought, media, how people can reach you, how they can book you, whatever. You see what I'm saying? Like, I know you're still working. No matter what, you're gonna stay on the grind, and you ain't let shit stop you.
Yeah, man. At Comedian CP on everything. That's Instagram, that's YouTube, that's Twitter, that's Twitch. CP at cpworldstore.com. People who want to email me to talk about whatever, that's a good way to find me. cpworldstore.com is my my website where you can get Reggie Bo merch, and some of my new gaming merch is on there as well, and some touring merch, some dope touring merch that I was supposed to tour with this year. That it's just merch now. That it's like the tour that never happened. So the merch for that is still up, and then yeah, man, like just I appreciate everybody who rock with me, and I will be on the road really soon. I have a show in Arizona coming up, like July 12th. I have to check and make sure that the we're keeping close eyes on what the corona cases are looking like out there. I heard it's been a spike, and we definitely gonna have to play it safe, and so we'll be playing it by ear. But I will be back on the road as cities open up and venues open up. So I appreciate everybody, and yeah, man, just please, everybody be safe, be smart, think first, think again, then react.
That's real. Appreciate your time, black man. Always welcome here. Always a pleasure. We're gonna be rooting
for you when the real one speak, man. You know what I'm saying? Always a treat when the real one speaks. So that's off top. Go ahead, my What'd you say?
I said we're gonna be in the crowd. We're gonna be cheering. We're gonna be in the comment section. You know what I'm saying? Like, We fuck with you.
Man, bro, I appreciate you, man. Knowledge. I'm gonna holler at you, man. Let's
right.
stay connected too, brother.
All right, peace.
Peace.
We out of here. Catch me live at 5 with comedian Ty Davis. Be doing an interview with her on her IG live, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at comedian Ty Davis on Instagram. Shout out to my brother CP, man. We out.